Whoops. Got a little distracted.
Oh boy, it's time now for another exciting episode of Mr Nailsin Sunday Comics
with Peacemaker. Hunter Iggy Douglas Nelson James Gunn say the Peacemaker crew will show up in either TV shows and movies. Well, yeah. I mean, they've had characters crossover from the Superman movie in the series, most notably, of course, Rick Flag Sr. And then, well, I don't want to spoil the last episode, but a very significant character from the Superman movie showed up. So, you know, that's all the deal. Because well, it's supposed to all be connected. That's the aesthetic, if you will, of DCU, MCU, and all that. You know. Holy. Oh crap! There's an echo. Why is there an echo? So does that mean I have to stop this one? Maybe that's the deal. Let me check. Jeez. 1 minute it works great now. Okay. Sounds like it's there. One day, kingdom come, I will finally figure everything out. So anyway, I got to read this issue of Peacemaker. I think they do have backups with the Fightin' Five, which is funny because the Fightin' Five had their own comic book and they introduced Peacemaker as a backup to their series. Then I don't know. I guess he became the bigger character, so he gets his own series, and now they're the backup. They were shoveled off to the back of the book. Maybe I'll delve into those sometime later, but we're gonna stick with Peacemaker here. His original incarnation from the '60s, from Carlton Comics. So I'll get right. Come here. Don't be shy. There you are. So there he is, looking all proud of himself. He's fighting off these frog guys. That's kind of like from last week's episode. And maybe that's why they drew that. I don't know, because I think the girl he was saving was a redhead. So, boy, it's just showing off all his adventures, He's sitting there posing, being proud of himself. Doesn't seem to know this guy's coming with a sword, plus 2 fighter jets, And here he is beating up some Russian guy, I guess. I don't know. Oh boy, it's like a part 1 of the story for Fightin' Five. Oh, it sounds exciting, but well, So the Peacemaker looks back on how it all began, the origin of the Peacemaker. Holy crap. I thought the title was The Hostage. I didn't pay attention to the cover. That's irresponsible, but too late now, huh? Oh, there he is. Again, smug and proud of himself. And his symbol, which I never noticed that the dove holds 2 lightning bolts. That's, because it's an odd thing. He's all about, I'm so serious about peace that I'm willing to brutally kill for it. Which, there's a lot of peace in the cemetery, But anyway, there we go. That's the cover for issue number 4 from way back in 67, I think. What's the date on this? Yep, 67. So there you go. And there's our splash page. Our world is populated by men and women too. I mean, in fact, there's more of them than me. But anyway, who wish to live in peace? Well, yeah, of course. They are not violent by nature. Well, and they are natural prey to the twisted creatures who seek wealth and power, even if it means misery and death to their fellows. mankind has found a champion, a courageous and resourceful man who has defeated the predators. His genius has created greater weapons than any found in the hands of the super criminals, and in his heart, he has the courage to use them. We have come to know this man as the Peacemaker. So there he is, with jets flying around him, some rockets. Well, that's about it. This one looks in bad shape. I guess it's going to crash. But there's this super Peacemaker jet, and it's better than all the other jets, so they really don't stand a chance. It's kind of an unfair fight. But anyway, uh-oh. Oh, boy. She's probably telling everybody she ran into a door, but come on. Your boyfriend or husband did it, didn't he? He doesn't know it yet, but this is the Peacemaker's new secretary, Nora O'Rourke, an American citizen, but born in County Cork, Ireland. Don't let that shiner fool you. She's a lady. Well, and she'll fight any such and such in the house who says she ain't. Huh. All right. Doop-a-doop-a-doo. The knowing ones. Okay. Call this chateau the Peace Palace. It's where you can get peace, you know. For this is where Christopher Smith does his work, which you all know is the prevention of war and the punishment of the vicious criminals who would destroy mankind, despite being humans themselves. Anyway, only one applicant for the secretarial position. Very well. Send her in, Paul. I guess that's Paul, whoever the hell that is. Well, he's Paul.
I am Nora O'Rourke, Mr. Smith. I better not stare at that bruise. It would be rude. Anyway, I understood that applicants were en route from Paris, Brussels, and London. And yet, you alone are here for the job. How do you account for that, Ms. O'Rourke?
She beat the crap out of all the other ones. Anyway,
until I'm on the payroll, I don't have to account for anything, Mr. Smith. But since you were a gentleman enough not to mention my shiner, I'll tell you what I know. I'm already in love. True, other girls were on their way here, but then we were all threatened with violence if we did not withdraw our applications. And who issued these threats, Miss O'Rourke?
A female, herself an applicant for this job, I believe.
You mean you, right? Anyway, well, she hasn't shown up. Were any of these threats carried out?
I understand there was some injury to the other girls, yes. And I had to stop a man who was putting a bomb in my dressing case.
Enter the shiner. From this day forward, you'll be called the shiner.
His heels struck me when I flipped him with applied jujitsu. You'll find that listed along with my FBI security clearance in my qualifications, Mr. Smith. If you've read them and are still interested, then I would like to know something about the job.
To understand the job, you have to know about me. You have to know me biblically. My father was an army officer turned statesman. My mother was a laboratory researchist.
You mean researcher?
Yeah, that. They both influenced my life. I mastered the sciences early, and my thesis on inertial guidance systems is the principle in use at Cape Kennedy right now.
Really?
No. My father's interest in fighting or flying fighter planes, spearfishing, etc., compelled me to learn many skills. As a scientist, I was asked by the Air Force to work with the teams experimenting with the rocket aircraft at Modoc. I flew the X-17 that 5.140 miles per hour. Okay. An unofficial speed record. Very impressive, Mr. Smith, but I am sure there is more to tell. Get down, Miss O'Rourke.
It's just an excuse to, cop a fill and stuff. But anyway, bullets are flying in. Zing! Zing! So he pulls his gun out.
No, Mr. Smith, you won't see the assassin, and
I'll find him. In the infrared scope, the sniper stands out. Christopher Smith steadies the rifle. The rifle? He's holding a pistol. Did it say rifle? It does. Well, anyway, and fires. He gets his man, of course, Christopher Smith, the Peacemaker. Never misses. Crack. Oh, 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 oh.
Another enemy attempt, Mrs. Smith?
Yes, he's up on Mount Rouge at the 9,400 foot level. Pick him up and process him, please.
Process? How cold-blooded can you get? He is dead, isn't he?
I used a medicated pellet which stuns instantly. Paul will question him and then send him back to his employers. Selecting a secretary who will of necessity learn of his identity as the Peacemaker and share secrets unknown to even the veteran members of his staff in the grim citadel in the Alps is of utmost importance. He cannot arrive at a decision hastily. So Miss O'Rourke is invited to dine with the man known to the world as Christopher Smith. Never heard of him.
Mr. Smith, time is valuable to us both. So I ask, what is your real work?
You are direct and courageous. Very well. After dinner, I shall take you into my laboratory. There I will detail my somewhat unusual activities. I don't know who the hell this is, but anyway. I'll go first, Nora. Give me 30 seconds, then enter.
Yes, Mr. Smith.
Close the door, Miss O'Rourke.
The Peacemaker!
Pretty hot, huh? Does that turn you on? I bet it does.
I've heard of you, Peacemaker. You were responsible for destroying the war machine of Premier Gek and the uranium mine slaves in the Ural Mountains.
Rural mountains? Ural Mountain. Yes, I was involved in those incidents, as well as many others. Here you see some of the weapons I've developed and designed. The jet fighter, the one-man submarine, and my helmet has a laser ray. Pretty cool, huh? Many times I prefer to incapacitate my enemies. For this I use medicated pellets fired from conventional guns, or an odorless gas ejected at supersonic speed.
It's a lonely life for you. Why did you become what you are?
What the hell? Why? Because man is civilized, governed by law. But unfortunately, there are madmen who will not obey those laws and will not submit to the sanity of diplomacy. The Peacemaker is an action buffer between these madmen and global war. A while ago, Nora, you were shocked when you believed I had cold-bloodedly taken the life of a fellow creature. Believe me, I abhor violence, perhaps more than you, judging by that shiner which you display. Well, serving as a peace envoy to the disarmament conference here in Geneva, I learned of a plot by one Emil Bork to start a brush fire among small nations to create a market for the arms which he had for sale. Bork, an ingenious, cold-blooded scoundrel, defied all diplomatic machinery. Remember him from last issue? Well, if you don't, that's him.
The United States cannot stop me. When this war begins, the world will scream in outrage if America intervenes. Your hands are tied. You're a fiend, Bark. I've dedicated my life to the cause of peace. But if I remain nonviolent, millions of men will be involved in war. I had the weapons. It had been a hobby of mine in this secret chamber. Now, to save the lives of thousands, I'd have to resort to the violence which I despised. So for the first time, I donned the attire of the Peacemaker, using my own belt jets. Another part of my hobby. I whipped those up. It'd be great to market that. I'd be a multi-billionaire, But, well, it's for a good cause. Peace and stuff. Anyway, I closed in on Bork's jet bomber. Bork fired missiles at me. I redirected him, and the man who would destroy mankind destroyed only himself. And his, big bomber, Anyway, this is the breathing apparatus I employed to foil a maniac who claimed to rule all underseas life. I encountered him along 1,000-Mile Reef. There was a rumor a trawler picked up survivors after a mysterious blast on the fishing grounds. He called himself the Commodore. The Peacemaker, tells his new secretary. And he had acquired a nuclear submarine. Somehow, the fiend maintained control over a pack of man-eating sharks. All right. The Commodore himself had unintentionally supplied a powerful explosive, which I released as I swam away. Yeah, I killed every last one of those bastards. I mean, it's terrible that I had to do it, but anyway, using my laser ray to superheat the atomic pile which powered the Commodore's infamous craft, I gave the crew time to abandon ship before it destroyed itself. Really? Well, some of them got out. I don't know. I didn't really check. Anyway, in each case, Nora, I tried to find non-violent means to deal with the situation. Mr. Smith, I had suspicions when I applied for this position because I had heard of these occurrences, and there were rumors of a mysterious person who figured in them all. I did a lot of research, mister, by cross-checking MIT, the Air Force X-17 research projects, General Bell laboratory personnel, and the oceanic research teams. I came up with one name, Christopher Smith. Who's saying? Open Bombay doors. Open Bombay doors, Mohammed. This is the chateau of the Peacemaker. Radar alarms warn the Peacemaker as the supersonic bomber hurtles over the chateau. With seconds left, Peacemaker faces the danger. His laser ray lances upward, melting the aircraft. But as this happens, the strange bomb is falling directly toward the chateau. Oh no, what's going to happen? What will become of Peacemaker? Well, that's the cliffhanger, But we'll take a break. Arno15. The fuck is this comic? It's called Peacemaker. It's the character that the HBO Max show is based on, Yeah. Well, he's come a long way since then. It's changed anyway. Anyway, Arno, I know its name, but what the fuck? Well, yes. Yes, it is odd, isn't it? Arno Premier Keck. Well, anyway, there we are. We took our little break, and let's see what happens next. But first, I must have a sip of tea. That was a sip of tea. All right. So off we go. So this is why I thought, the first page of the story doesn't tell you anything.
but it's part 2, The Hostage. So I thought, oh, this must be the title for the whole. Stupid me, you know. Anyway, it's a huge bomb, but inside there isn't a nuclear warhead or conventional explosives. Instead, it contains gas. And another plane delivers a black-clad horde who converge on the Peacemaker. I don't understand. Oh, it's a crescent thing, yeah. Anyway, don't breathe until you're on the other side of that door. And don't sniff it either. It's really gonna stink. Do not kill him. Peacemaker's weapons must not be destroyed. I can sell them for billions. It's Colonel Uz, Bogle arms thief. I've got to hold them off. None of them seems to notice him running in there. Well, all right. Can't let them have these weapons. The rest of the world would be helpless if Uz has them. Oh, no. Okay. If he takes a breath, he'll be finished. Because despite all his inventions, the one thing he didn't think of was a gas mask. Okay. But the Peacemaker knows he'll be unconscious in another few seconds. So he pulls, quote unquote, the switch. Stop him, you idiots! The Peacemaker had anticipated a raid like this, and the explosives shatter the laboratory, destroying his arsenal of modern weapons. But Peacemaker is already unconscious as the shattering blast occurs. The accursed Peacemaker foiled me, but we still have him. Take him to the plane. They're taking the Peacemaker, Miss O'Rourke. I can't take a chance on destroying their plane. Fly east, Janik. Okay. So anyway, I think we should alert NATO, Paul. Yes, Miss Nora. I've sealed the chateau. Whatever gas is outside can't reach us here. Their primary mission was to kidnap Peacemaker. Their interest in the weapons was secondary. But what can I do to help him now? Peacemaker is unconscious, Colonel Luz. Don't let him move. He's capable of destroying us, even though he's apparently unarmed. Well, he's not going to move while he's unconscious. I've got enough explosives on me to blow up a fleet of planes like this. But, I'll wait. Even though it's really uncomfortable because, it's all shoved up my, unarmed. Peacemaker is never without weapons. For instance, observe. Plastic impregnated with RDX with hidden fuse. Okay. When tiny vial built into glove is crushed, why is it written like that? It becomes a firebomb. You got to be careful. What if he squeezes it? I don't know. Each heel is pentolite compound. So if he stomps too hard, he could blow his foot off. Laser! Nitrile cellulose under right conditions is highly combustible. Again, what if the right conditions happens to be in a different environment that he just stumbles into, and there goes his heart. Anyway, plus sidearm, derringer, and various miniature tools for escape. All right, those are the things that are shoved up his ass. The Peacemaker is always well armed. I will not attempt to escape. Colonel Luz, you are taking me to your base of operations. I had planned to visit it very soon anyway. It will be a one-way journey. Wait a minute. Is this all a setup to trick me into revealing my secret base? So, kill him now and, shoot him there. I mean, maybe up here well, all right, shoot him there and get his helmet off. Of course, it might be booby trapped. Just throw him out of the plane. Oh, he still got his jetpack. Those idiots left his jetpack on, so if they throw him out of the plane, he could fly away. So, oh well. The Peacemaker is amazed at the 90 millimeter high altitude anti-aircraft guns and at the ground-to-air missile system. Colonel Uz is more formidable than he realized. Each mountain is a vast cave, Peacemaker, and each cave shelters the most potent weapons ever devised by man. If you feared I'd interfere, why didn't you kill me, Colonel? I deal in arms. I sell them to secondary powers, and I deliver them in perfect condition. Unfortunately, some of these items are damaged or incomplete when I acquire them, which is why I brought you here. Now, get inside and go to work. Peacemaker blinked for a moment, unable to believe his eyes. How did this hijacker succeed in stealing weapons of such expense, and from more than one nation? The new French jet fighter, the Russian heavy tank, the American anti-missile missiles? Incredible. How did they become damaged? In transit, you might say. When my agents acquire these items, the transaction is sometimes accompanied by violence. Plus, they're shitty drivers. A modern jet equipped for combat costs over $1 billion. A little more than that, but yet the armed forces processing them are fantastically careless about the way in which they are guarded. If he makes one false move, kill him. But if we kill him, he can't make weapons for us. Shut up! I don't want to leave. Not for quite a while. And they paint Groucho Marx's eyebrows on his... Now you look silly. The sentries watch Peacemaker closely. They don't realize what he's doing. So he's stealing the plot from Iron Man. Keep in mind, the Iron Man comic book story already happened. And kind of the same thing. He was building his suit of armor and the Vietnamese didn't realize it. Well, whatever. By changing the wiring, I've gimmicked this weapon. Now the tank is next. Cutting the heavy bolts holding the turret to the chassis should irritate someone. In 72 hours, the cleverest weapons designer in the world had done quite a job for or on Colonel Uz. Every weapon in the cave seemed repaired. I am surprised, Peacemaker. You've done an excellent job. Very good, rat. A 10-second burst will melt the barrel and backfire on the gunner. Smirk, smirk, smirk. Oh, he didn't fire for a full 10 seconds. Oh, well, anyway. As I work on each weapon, I plant an explosive in the area. Very soon, I'll destroy this cave and then attack Uz in his quarters. Hopefully, I can catch him in his jammies. That'll be funny. Then there's a signal from the televiewer. Colonel Uz speaks. Peacemaker, report. Yes, Colonel. Your work has been satisfactory, Peacemaker. I have begun delivery of the repaired arms and vehicles, but I wish to ensure your continued cooperation. I thought perhaps you might feel more loyalty toward me
if you realize that any disappointment will result in severe discomfort to Miss O'Rourke. Do what you've got to do, Peacemaker. Don't worry about me. I'd planned to wait, let us be destroyed by the weapons I'd repaired. But I've got to act now. How's this for openers? Next, a flamethrower aimed at a fire control switch built into the network of pipes touches off the flooding devices. Security gates block all exit tunnels. High carbon steel. Turn on laser ray to full strength. So he shoots him in the back of the head, but it's a bulletproof helmet. Goes away. Oh, well, I guess maybe I should shoot him in the ass or something, but I don't know. I don't feel like it. Bzz, bzz. So, of course, they leave his helmet on, which has, Anyway, turning on jet power, Peacemaker screams down a corridor. So he's like, oh no, I didn't mean to go this fast. Another barrier looms ahead. Even the laser ray can't melt it at the speed he's attaining. So Peacemaker turns on maximum thrust and screams toward it at trisonic speed. Made it. Oh, thank God. Oh, jeez. Almost. Well, yeah, I'm going to have to go wipe after this. Anyway. Fire! Destroy him utterly! I worked on that weapon. Our aim is perfect, but he is bulletproof. Each bullet is paper mache. They would not kill him. Would it even work? They would not kill a fly. Paper mache. Anyway, it is the prisoner. Fire the cannon. We cannot miss at this range. Lucky for me, I worked on that too. Oh man, if only I had a camera. With his arms empire crumbling, Colonel Uz screams orders at his underlings. Answer, you fools! What is happening there? Everything is happening, Colonel Uz. Peacemaker has defied me. I warned him. Now you will suffer, Miss O'Rourke. Miss O'Rourke, the newest addition to Peacemaker's staff, strikes her heel sharply on the floor, cracking it off. And at once, the concentrated gas begins to spread. What are you doing? I'll destroy you if... You treacherous witch! You think Peacemaker can help you, but he cannot penetrate this room. Special locks on all entrances. Protect me from... Dun, dun, dun. Peacemaker! I should have killed you back at your castle. It's inch-thick steel, and it slides closed just as Peacemaker tries to hurdle, after Colonel Uz. At least he isn't screaming after. Oh, these feet don't fail me now. Oh. Colonel Uz isn't defeated. He's got a jet fighter equipped with powerful rockets. He's going to use them to destroy his enemy. I'll blast the entire mountain to finish the Peacemaker. The wing rockets will obliterate whatever they strike. I'm pushing the button. Oh, no. I should have told him about rewiring those firing circuits. There's a delayed fuse in the caves. In 10 seconds, they should detonate. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Boom. Well, I must say, these first hours in your employ have been exciting. Employ? I didn't hire you yet, stupid. But anyway, and there's more to come, Nora. Especially me. But not until I change and we have dinner in the village. Yeah. Yeah, suddenly I've got a thing for shiners now. I'm going to need her to put makeup on and make it look like it's always there. That'll be cool. Oh, damn it. I can't let her see this side of my face. I cut myself shaving. It's so embarrassing. Damn it. Do you think she'll think less of me if she finds out? Yeah, maybe. Damn it. I just can't let her see that side of my face. Will Nora see that side of his face? Well, perhaps we'll find out in the next exciting issue of The Peacemaker. Yeah, so there's fighting five. They're fighting, I guess spies and criminals. I don't know. But anyway, there we go. Peacemaker and the hostage, which, well, it was his secretary. That's the hostage. Well, plastic with hidden views sounds kinky. Arno says, someone read this and said, this needs its own show. Right. Well, keep in mind, this is the earliest ones. I went through quite a few changes over the years. DC Comics bought it out at some point. And, well, it's a long-winded story. And then, I don't know, James Gunn said, this is my guy. So, Arno 5 says, I guess it worked for the Tick. Yeah. Yeah. Well, that's a really long leg he's got there. But anyway, that's Peacemaker. So, had too busy of a week and didn't get around to the comics for Wednesday comics. So I'll just go over those right now before we take off, or I take off, And where is there it is. Show me, no, not that. Yeah, okay, jeez. Is this the one? I think it is. Yep, there we go. Absolute Batman. That crazy, crazy book that continues to get, well, crazy, So, boy, the last time he was captured at Arkham. See, it sounds like Arkham, but there is no Arkham. There's only Arkham. These weird facilities where they do all these experiments on people. And here's Killer Croc, where they've literally turned this guy into, well, a crocodile. So that's what they do. It's sort of island of, Dr. Moreau, whatever, and all that. And, well, he's not happy about his condition. So they were going to do experiments on Batman, and maybe they have. But it appears the ending of the last issue was a bit of just a nightmare. He hadn't been fully transformed, didn't really rip his arm off and all that sort of stuff. So he ends up in the sewer. So there he is. Oh, God, it smells like poo. Oh, you saved me. Yes. Now you save me. And by save, he means, I will. I swear. I'll find a cure. I know. The hunger, Bruce. It hurts too much. Please save me. His name's Waylon, so and they know each other. Do it. So he takes off a blade from his bat ear. Gets ready to plunge it into Crocodile. No. I can't. So he broke his bat ear for nothing.
And this really upsets Killer Croc.
Then I will. What? No! I said no! Roar!
Oh, man, you know that breath is bad. Oh, oh. But then again, they're in the sewer, so maybe he doesn't notice as much.
I should have left you in that place. Wait! We can beat this! Waylon!
See, he broke his bad ear for nothing. Oh, well. Yeah, well, that's too bad about Killer Croc, but hopefully everything else works out. So we flash back to him and Selena Kyle dating or whatever. So this first month is due on signing, and then as long as the details check out, you kids are good to go. Oh, just a reminder, though, no pets at all. That includes cats.
Filthy animals. We wouldn't dream of...
We'll take it. Wonderful. I'll give you a moment to envision.
Psst. Want to know what I'm envisioning?
Stop. Something's bothering you. Talk, Wayne.
It's Waylon. I don't know what to do. See? So that's his pet name for Selena, I guess.
Did you tell him the truth?
He's not going to listen. I know him. He really believes he can win.
Then help him win.
How?
Same way we got this spot. If the rules aren't fair, stop playing by them. Uh-oh. And we know Selena Kyle becomes Catwoman. And because one thing you know about Catwoman, she doesn't play by the rules. So, yeah. Anyway, this is, he's dreaming about that or remembering it or whatever. And he wakes up all messed up and everything.
Easy. Ugh. How long have I been out? It's been 20 days since I found you collapsed on the floor of this place. 20 days? Yes, and you need a hell of a lot more. The things they did to your body, I'm not sure you fully comprehend.
So you see there's something implanted in his spine, and it's probably the venom toxin coursing through him, trying to turn him into, well, one of their monsters, you know.
There's a delivery system woven into your spine and brain, all loaded with that compound venom. There's no telling...
I'm fine, Pennyworth.
No, kid. You need to hear this. What you did. Things have changed now. You're in it, you understand?
I get it. Now I'm going to need you to move. And that's it. Oh, what does he discover? Well, he finds out what Bane did to his friends. And, well, one would wonder how all these characters were going to become the versions, or at least this universe's versions of the Batman villains, because he was friends with just about all of them. Of course, Harvey Dent kind of fit in, but then Penguin, Riddler, they're all his buds. Well, being Bruce Wayne's friend doesn't work out very well for them because Bane just beats the living crap out of them, tears them apart, and ultimately turns them all into the monsters they were destined to become. So now you have Penguin, Riddler. That is just, I mean, it's like a plot from Saw, you know? I mean, so it's brutal crap. So there you go. That's absolute Batman. Just crazy shit. And it's really the draw to it. Everything else, yeah. And it's there's some elements that's recognizably Batman, but a lot of it isn't. But still, the over-the-top nature of it, what can I say? It does make it interesting. All right. So we'll have to move right along to our next selection. Oh, no, what am I doing? I can't do that here.
There it goes. So Aquaman, which is written by Jeremy Adams rather, and is easily probably their best writer at DC for the moment. Um, and he was doing pretty good on Green Lantern, but it's just too cluttered. And I was getting a little irritated by that. But since Aquaman isn't, it might be the better of the two. His Flash Gordon, which is not a DC product, is really good. But, what are you going to do? But anyway, so Aquaman is back from his weird adventure, and but things are still messed up. But it looks to be they're connecting it to some event that is approaching. So there we go. And I'm guessing this will cross with Justice League at some point. But anyway, of course, he's coming back to his time, but due to the time distortions of the blue, Mara grew old in that timeline and died, but not before she gave birth to their daughter, who's now an adult. And so it's all messed up for poor Aquaman. And so there he is. They have a funeral for her with Wonder Twin Zan. And Captain Nemo joined the cast, and Arian, and I'm already forgetting the sorcerer's name. But anyway, there you go. So he's all sad. Mira's dead. And then the other Atlanteans who died. And so, but Aquaman has had enough of this. Arian is doing a spell to ignite them all, even though they're underwater. But, he's magic. And there they go. It's a fish fry. So he says, it's time to leave this damnable place. Well, his daughter hears that, and she don't like that. And then she looks back at the funeral pyre. And of course, she's going to blame Daddy and be mad at Daddy about all this. Even though timeline shenanigans being what they are, don't know if she'll always exist, but whatever. 10 degrees. 10 degrees left, rudder. Steady on course 270. Yeah. Are you sure? Nemo, I can see things now. The blue is no longer contained. It's like a broken dam whose waters are feeding back into the universe. And you can see which rivers lead to where? Yes. And this one is leading us home. Anyway, he's different, Orion. Different how? I said Orion, not you. Put simply, he's a god. Oh, that's cool. Orion just said Aquaman was a god, and your only response is cool? I mean, have you met Superman, Wonder Woman? They're essentially gods. I guess. Not like the kind you worship or anything, just, powerful. And dangerous. Sure, I guess, but they're good guys like Aquaman. Heroes that help people. I say one more powered up superhero is a plus in the superhero column. So there you go. They're all concerned about this power he has, especially since they referred to it in the prophecy as the dark tide. So it probably ties in to dark side. Stuff like that. And they're going to have this big conflict later on. And Aquaman's got all these new super duper pooper scooper powers. And eventually he's going to have to give them up or succumb to evil. Anyway, there's a big reveal at the end of this issue, but you got to pick up your own copy to see how that turns out.
Those are the rules.
All right. Let's switch over to our next selection. And well, why aren't you showing up like I want you to? You must do as you are beckoned to do. Here we are. The Justice League. And they're unlimited because everybody's a member of the Justice. Yeah, I don't think they're going to be able to keep that going for very long. So anyway, here's Time Trapper, who is really Doomsday, but from the future. So he's all skinny. He took some of Ozempic and stuff in his later years. Anyway,
they found me, which should be impossible, but then so are they.
So I don't know. He's bleeding and stuff, and he's being chased across time. So you see all these different time periods and stuff. That looks like Wonder Woman from the Metal series. I can't quite see what the hell this is. Maybe that's that anime Batman. I don't know. Superman from when he didn't have all his powers and he just rode around on a motorcycle and I forget what. Another version of Batman, or maybe the failsafe. The communist Superman from Red Son. Batman from Batman from Gotham by Gaslight. The Vampire Batman. I forget what the hell that was called. Batman again. I don't know what he's doing there. Robin from some other timeline. And hell, I don't know. Anyway, there you go. You see, they do stuff like that. Anyway, somebody zaps Time Trapper or Doomsday, whatever.
Darkseid's Legion, meta beings from the future whom Superman should have inspired to heroism. But that's gone wrong. Everything is wrong. Ordinarily, I can toss Superman around like a leaf in the wind. Ordinarily, I have the power to challenge gods. Now time is broken, and so I fear. Am I?
Ew, this dude flies right through him.
Oh, if I am to survive, if all of existence is to survive, I need the Justice League.
Thump. So he arrives at their satellite while they're playing cards and stuff.
What the hell?
So there you go. So meanwhile, Batman's talking to the Red Tornado AI.
Tornado, we need to have a conversation. Would you mind making it feel a little more human to human?
Not at all, Batman. If it makes you more comfortable, I presume this has to do with your secret meeting.
You are attentive. Superman, Wonder Woman, and I, well, we've reached an impasse on
the airwave conundrum.
Good guess.
Simply an interpolation of facts and personalities. According to my monitors, the three of you convened in the old headquarters. Yes,
in the old headquarters, yes, for privacy. And it didn't go well.
This isn't about assigning blame, Clark. You needn't be so defensive.
I'm not being... Airwave would never have betrayed us to our enemies willingly. His was a unique case. Was he? Diana and I agree that his background in retrospect made him ripe for corruption.
Corruption is too strong a word.
It was a shortcut, but I grant your point. Airwave is a kid. He was in limbo for decades and re-entered a world where all his touchstones were gone.
To Clark's point, we knew that, but we were so busy with Inferno, excuse me, the Legion of Doom, that we didn't prioritize him. He had no idea who Gorilla Grodd was. That made him an easy mark. But that's... Oh, what does she say next? Well, you'll have to get your own copy of Justice League Unlimited. Oh, man. Won't that be something? But, the art's really good. So what the hell are they up to and doing? I don't know. Time travel, universe is collapsing. Good Lord, how many times can they tell this story? Well, apparently a lot. So it'd be nice if something would just land on a regular narrative, but there's just no such luck. Even though I'm going to heap high praise on an item that is doing that, but it's relatively brand new, so it's not as repetitive as others, Oh, where is it? Why isn't it showing up? Not that one. Not this one. All right. Well, maybe I got to get rid of some of these. Goodbye. Goodbye. And goodbye. All right. So now maybe you have to show up. No? That's the same one. Maybe I just got to do it like that. There. Jeez. Weird. Shouldn't it just, I don't know. It's bizarre. Okay, whatever. Redcoat, the best of the batch. Ghost Machine is a good collection of comics. Haven't gotten to them all. Probably have to buy the collections or whatever. But Redcoat, and of course it's got Brian Hitch's art, and it's just excellent. But of course, a lot of time travel shenanigans and teases of crossovers happen here as well. But basically, you got a man who achieved immortality accidentally at the time of the Revolutionary War, and we go throughout history with his story that touches on actual historical events, like in the War of 1812, here in 1814, where the British burned down the White House. So there you go. You got the art of everybody. Oh no, the British are here. Let's get the hell out. And our main character narrates, my name is Simon Pure, though I'm anything but, as you'll come to know. On this blistering summer night, you'd wager me the lunatic who let the president's house ablaze. There's the cur, the flaming devil's making for the treasury. But I assure you, I did not light the match. My part in this inferno was purely accidental-ish. It's been a bit of a mess of late between the new country and the old, with the smoke of revolution still clinging to every coat and conscience. They would say the burning of Washington was retaliation for the razing of York, but for Admiral George Cockburn, it went far deeper. Of all Britannia's sons, none loathed the Americans more than Cockburn, and none better suited to torch their cradle. Cockburn lived up to his name, both in attitude and means of destruction. Lay waste to our capital! Now we'll lay waste to theirs tenfold! Who's with me? Cockburn came to Washington not just to ban it, but to shatter morale and unmask the young republic as weak and exposed. His aim? Force President Madison's resignation and collapse the centralized resistance to British forces, all to set the stage for the colonies to come crawling back to the king. To set the record straight, I was not hired to stop Cockburn. nor had I crossed paths with the bloke before. There was nothing personal between us. No vendetta, no grudge. Not that I've ever found much use for such things. Just wrong place, wrong time, as it so often was. There he is, having to fight the American troops because they, well, I mean, look how he's dressed. So, you see, with Madison off playing soldier, one of his cooks, good chap, loose lips, invited me to the president's house for a game of loo, which is poker with less bluffing and more betrayal. The cook said there was a roast on the table and uncorked wine from the presidential dinner called off the night before. Catch, mate. Something about British ships in the bay. Not one to ever turn down a free meal, especially free drink. I showed up right on time at the back door to the kitchen. Yet I only had a spoonful of sweet corn and a sip of cider before smoke rolled into the room, and the whole table folded fast. And we all went separate ways, searching for the nearest exit. What in the world? Out of my way, fiend! Charmed, I'm sure. It surprised me to see someone in such an expensive frock in the middle of this war. I quickly realized the panicked woman wasn't running out of the burning house. She was headed deeper into the inferno.
But why? Why is she doing that? Well, you'll have to get your own copy of Redcoat. And yes, she is a historical figure. And he wasn't there, or was he? But a lot of the events depicted here are historically accurate. Anyway, there you go. Redcoat. So now we're all caught up for Sunday comics and Wednesday comics. Hopefully I'll have time to do a proper Wednesday comics with some other comics I have that I'll read. And we'll do that then. But anyway, there you go. This has been Mr. Nailsin's Sunday Comics. So hopefully you got a kick out of it. And I'll thank you for watching. And we'll do it again next week. Won't that be fun? Well, let's hope so. Arno, this should be good. You mean Absolute Batman, I guess, or Redcoat? I don't know. Arno, Island of Dr. Awu. Yeah, maybe that could. I guess they haven't really said. I don't think. I mean, Bane is in charge, but Mr. Freeze is one of the guys experimenting on him. But then he's kind of he is a mess himself. I don't know, but anyway, yeah, they can make up. Oh, Dr. Hugo Strange. I wonder if they'll probably introduce him at some point. The Island of Dr. Hugo Strange. That could work out. So anyway, Arno says, thank you, sir. Well, thank you, Arno. And again, yes, we'll do it again soon. And hopefully have a few chuckles and enjoyment here. And I don't know if you've got the same affliction and you like comic books. Maybe they got a few ideas here for what to check out. But still, best it just is. And not just for the pretty pictures, although that's a pretty high selling part. Brian Hitch is quite the artist. So there we go. Have a good rest of your Sunday. I've got to go get ready for bed because I got to go back to work tonight. But again, enjoy the rest of your Sunday.